move on to our market action, and surprising as it may be, it managed to eke out decent gains for ourselves. Finally, seems like at least we're attempting a breakout from that range. We managed to hold on to that 25,400 level, in fact, for the Nifty futures, and was literally all sectors blazing with maximum contribution from telecom, realty, financials, infrastructure, textile. These were the spaces which did see a fair amount of bounce up. Not a self-rigor from FIIs, a minuscule buy, but a buy nonetheless. And of course, DIIs continued to support the market. Kunal is here in the studios. Kunal, hi, good morning. What's the setup looking like? Yesterday's attempt, does it seem like we can build on?
Yeah, I think we should build on from yesterday's, where we left off yesterday. The last couple of days, we've seen a very good market placement, because I think 2 days or 3 days back, there was this heightened intraday volatility. The markets made a comeback. FI numbers are positive. VIX is almost at that 10.5 odd zone for the India VIX. You're seeing built up of open interest on individual stocks. I think a couple of days back there was almost like a 10% built up of open interest for many large cap private sector banking names, and you've seen follow through for few of the private sector banking stocks. Banking stocks, the bank Nifty making a comeback and now nudging towards that 57,000 mark as a breakout. I think all of that is extremely positive as a data point for the markets, and I think it just tells you that the market mood is getting a lot more better. We are better in terms of absorbing the intraday volatility or shocks for the indices, and then trying to make a comeback and break past above the previous swing highs, even if it's on a short-term basis.
Kunal, are you seeing some kind of rotation happening now to the frontline stocks, especially in the last 2 days, because we have earnings heavy days coming in today, tomorrow, Saturday, and then Monday, with a lot of banking stocks, in the earnings there. Do you think that that's something which needs to be watched out for?
So maybe not exactly on that larger cap names, but what I'm spotting on the trends is that risk appetite is coming back. So even if stocks are going into the results, there is position building which is happening on the stock prices. That generally happens when there is slight confidence. I'm not saying extreme confidence, but even if in this context of the market, there is slight confidence from traders to try and take positions into individual stocks. We were discussing HCL Tech a couple of days back. That was one of the key aspects or key stocks on the larger cap name where there was a high amount of open interest built up. TCS, the result had seen such a kind of a built up. So I would probably sense that this is more to do with direction and risk appetite and that sentiment coming back into the indices.
Before coming to the banking stocks, actually, which we need to discuss, Axis Bank, which is there. But you have 3 IT companies today: LTI Mindtree, Infosys, and Wipro. How do you how are the charts looking for these 3 companies?
So specifically for Infosys, I think what happened is start of October series. I think 1st or 2nd of October, we started off the series. There was a 30% jump in the built up of open interest for Infosys, particularly. That led to a 50-70 point move for the stock price initially, and then we've kept on moving up above that 1800 or 1500 zone for Infosys. So we maintained that territory on the higher side for Infi, even with that built up of open interest. So initially the expectation was that maybe this is short built up, because the stock has been in the thick of news flow. But then when the stock prices managed to move up higher, it was taken as an inference that this is more of long built up, and that has led to a recovery for many of these other large cap IT names. I've not seen the data for the other names, LTI Mindtree, etc. But when I look at the price patterns, it's more like what we saw with Persistent. I think a couple of days back when Persistent had seen a very good price trend going into the results, and then the stock seeing a breakout, LTI Mindtree is a very similar kind of a chart.
So Kunal, what stocks would you recommend to our viewers?
So again, mixed with financials and the breakout stocks. Chola Finance is something which I had highlighted a couple of days back. The stock did very well yesterday, broken past about the 1690 levels. So would be bullish on Chola Finance even at current levels, and would look out for now revised targets of 1740 on the upside, with a stop loss revised to 1660 for traders who are looking at a fresh buy. InterGlobe Aviation, I think that's a stock which is coming back into a recovery mode. I would not say a breakout mode, but then the stock over the last few days has seen some bit of comeback. Candlestick patterns have shown signs of good recovery. We've seen the price action coming back above its 20-day moving average. So would look out for targets in the range of 6,000 for InterGlobe Aviation and stop loss at 5750.